Hey guys, this video is going to be really special. You guys know I talk about Air Force lifestyle and benefits. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can take control of your career. I have a special guest, Second Lieutenant Charles Dejohnette. He recently just transitioned from the enlisted side to the commissioned side. On his enlisted side, he did 13 years. He started as an aerospace ground equipment technician. We call that AGE for short. After 5 years of that, he cross-trained into geospatial analyst, and he did that for about 8 years. Like I said, he recently just commissioned from enlisted to officer. And I really think his broad spectrum and his unique background is gonna be really good for helping relate to him and also understanding the process of how to go from enlisted to commission. Hey, Second Lieutenant Dejohnette, how you doing?
What's up, Sergeant Reeve? Thank you for the introduction. Man, it's been a crazy year. But overall, I think I'm adjusting well. I'm having to adjust to having a new rank and a new career field with a new duty position. But overall, man, I'm just putting one foot in front of the other and adjusting. Thank you for asking.
All right. Hey, what's been the biggest adjustment for you since becoming an officer?
That's a good question. I would say my biggest adjustment would have to be leaving the old career field where I was the subject matter expert and now being in a new field where I have to heavily rely on my flight chief, the junior enlisted, and just trends and analysis that I'm kind of gathering day to day. I have to quickly learn how the organization works, and then I have to present the information and the commander's vision, because at the end of the day, it's what his objective is, and I have to kind of carry that out, more so as a status manager versus being in the weeds, doing the work day to day. So I kind of present where I'm needed as far as help-wise, but at the end of the day, I more so have to trust, but verify to make sure the job is getting done. And that's pretty different for me, especially because I was kind of known for being a workhorse before, but now I'm more so just make sure the job is getting done and make sure they don't need any top cover to accomplish the goal.
Man, that adjustment sounds like a steep learning curve. Which would you say was harder, the adjustment or actually submitting the OTS package?
Definitely completing the package. The adjustment can take time, and even a period where you're not sure that you're doing the right thing, but that package definitely brings its own adversity and its own challenges. So I'd say that's definitely the harder part for sure.
I can only imagine. So what's the hardest part of completing the package?
The hardest part about completing the package is getting through your chain of command, especially if you're in a structure where there's a lot of hands that have to see it before the commander. This can be pretty challenging, especially because you're testing for promotion. You're constantly having to go to professional development. You're competing against not only people within your squadron, but in the wing. And lastly, the Air Force is going to PCS you every 3 or 4 years. So by the time you're building this package and getting it to where you want it to be, it can actually be time for you to leave. So once you put all that together, it can be challenging, doable, but challenging.
Okay, so what kind of material did you put in your OTS package?
As for the material that goes in the package, there's no secret formula. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're represented well based off of your career and what's in that package. But at the same time, the board members change each year. So it's important to follow the trends of the Air Force, so what's going on with our airmen and what's going on with the world, and tailor your package to where the reader knows that you have your finger on the pulse on what's going on. So I'll give you the example of going to school. It's important to go to school because you can better yourself. Everyone knows. However, it's important to be able to articulate how you going to school makes processes better within your unit or even the wing. And I'll use that as a point to transition. It's key when submitting your package, not only for OTS, but also during your evals when you're trying to go for that next stripe, to lead at the highest level possible. For most, it's going to be the wing. Lead at as much as you can at the wing, because as you'll learn, it's kind of the same going for the next stripe and going for the bar. Because what the Air Force wants in a brand new lieutenant, you'll learn that a lot of your NCOs are kind of starting to do as they further their career. So make sure you represent it well, but also lead at the highest level possible. And if you do that, I'm sure the material that you submit in your package will be good enough for you to get selected.
Thank you for that. Can you maybe further explain or provide some of your own examples?
I'm so glad you asked that, man. In fact, you asking me on here, I wanted to make sure that I gave your viewers some meat and potatoes that they can actually not only learn from, but also go do. Something tangible that they can actually leave here with. So I spoke about leading organizations, and I definitely mean that. However, when it comes to leading at the wing level, there's not that many opportunities. So there are times where you have to create your own. For example, there was a time where I did a records review with the chief because I was like, I'm not getting promoted as fast as I can. I also want to go to OTS and commission. Like, can you look at my career and tell me what I need to do? So he did. But he gave me the opportunity to lead a diversity council. So there was a Tiger team that went by, which I also suggest if you see emails about that or if you see opportunities, take that. Find out what the climate of that organization is and then take it and run with it. Also with that diversity council, it was wing exposure. So we had people from all over the base that came and helped. And pretty much we observed the different Department of Defense observances that we do every year anyway. But I was able to kind of get people who are actually in these cultures to kind of lead these events. And it was a huge success. Another vessel that I used to get that wing recognition was the Air Force Sergeants Association. I led with AFSA as the vice president, and we went to national conferences. We did events on base. We did membership drives. And once again, I'm getting that FaceTime with the wing commander. I'm getting that exposure that I needed. So when it was time for me to submit my package, there were those that kind of recognized my name and also my face. So it made it that much easier. But also I spoke about looking at the trends of the Air Force. And I know that, this might sound a little cheesy, but it's important to look at those trends because our airmen are the Air Force's #1 resource. So we have to take care of them. So with that said, if you see that there's a lot of suicides or airmen dealing with depression, you have to ask yourself, like, how do I fix that from a large standpoint? So I think the Air Force's recognition of that is how the resiliency training assistants were created. So sign up for that. Lead your airmen, help them out. Because at the end of the day, as an officer, that's your goal, is to make sure your airmen are fit to do the job and that they're being prepared for not only where they're currently at, but their future as well.
So leading at the highest possible level is definitely something we do as non-commissioned officers. And everything you just said would get a non-commissioned officer promoted as well. So would you say that you can work on both goals concurrently?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Going for your enlisted path and then also going for that bar, they can be one and the same. So you still have that reassurance of knowing that you're moving forward with your enlisted career, but also taking that leap of faith and trying to better yourself in commission as well. They can all have a lot of benefits and a lot of positives for you. But also, I left out one more opportunity that someone can use while trying to get exposure. That's the wing inspection team. Take the training program or take the unit deployment program that you're in charge of and go check other people's programs to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, make sure they're in compliance with the MAJCOM standards. It's an easy opportunity to lead and impact on a much higher level.
Well, hey, Second Lieutenant Dejohnette, I really appreciate you doing this for me and all your insight on how to commission via OTS as an enlisted member. Hey, LT, when I do these kind of videos, I get a lot of questions from people in the comment box that I don't really know how to answer. So would you be interested in maybe doing like a follow-up question and answer video later?
Man, anytime you need me, I love mentoring. It's my favorite part about the Air Force. And then now that I'm a flight commander and I went through OTS, I can even help people out that want to do the same things. So that means a lot to me. Also, I want to make sure that I thank you, Master Sergeant Select Reed, for not only inviting me on here, but man, keep killing it in the recruiting game, and I'll stay in touch. Take care. Goodbye.